Hi there, my name is Kobe Kingsford. I already tried to film this video, but I gave up like 30 seconds in because I thought that what I was saying was stupid, but I'm going to try not to do that now. So if I do upload this one, hello, you haven't seen me in over a year. I've grown my hair out a little bit, trying to. I think it was about this length or maybe a little longer in early December when I cut it for the first time in half a year. And it's growing back. I don't really know. I don't really have a plan for it. Oh, I don't know what's going on with it right now. I'm not really styling it. It's just kind of hanging there, but that's what's going on. Not that my hair is of much importance. What I was going to say was that people have been asking me to do some kind of video thing for quite a while now. I felt that the longer I waited, the more I kind of left that behind. So now, considering I haven't uploaded in over a year, if this goes live, it's going to be very weird for me to like be back in that place where like I wait for it to upload and like wait for views to come in and then like wait to see if anyone's going to comment anything and then like read the comments and see that people actually interact and watch the video. But I do feel a little bit inspired this evening in particular because I watched Drew Monson's Why I Really Left the Internet. It's still on my screen from my laptop, which I'm using as like a light thing, so that you can see my face. But yeah, so it's Drew Monson. I used to watch him a lot. I watched him when I was a really big fan of Shane Dawson. Once upon a time, I was a very big fan of his. And Drew Monson was kind of like in his group. And then I guess they kind of stopped being friends, but I still really like Drew Monson. So I just, watch his stuff. And he's been gone for the internet for a long time. I mean, he uploaded this video like half a year ago, but still before that, he was off the internet for a while and it's not as much back on now. And it was quite weird because I could relate to a lot of the things he was saying, and it was strange to me to hear that from someone else because I feel like, not to say that I'm as big as Drew Monson at all, but I have kind of been in that place where I'm a content creator online, and then I kind of stopped doing that, and then it's kind of, there's a lot of like thoughts and feelings around that I'm not really able to process because I don't really know how to talk about it. Like, I mentioned it to my therapist a few times, but it's like, it's such a weird and like niche thing to bring up. Obviously it adds to my life and it's like, it is of some importance. I mean, anything that sparks emotions that need to be processed that I'm not really processing is very important, but it's like, it feels so stupid being like, oh, I used to make YouTube videos and this is how that contributed to my life and this is how I feel about it now. Obviously my therapist didn't think so, didn't think it was stupid, I mean, but I just feel silly and weird talking about it, like, I don't know. So it was nice hearing it from someone else, that's what I was gonna say. I don't really... I should have probably made a plan for this before I started filming, because while I was watching the video, I thought to myself, maybe I could also make a video like that, where I kind of talk about how I feel and things. And then I thought, okay, so, well, what's the natural thing to do? Maybe, like, reintroduce themselves to me, because one of the points that he made that I really related to is that when people say that they miss your videos and stuff, it's weird, because that person's not me. Like, it doesn't feel like me anymore. So I thought, well, then maybe I can introduce them to me now. But then I thought, like, well, I really don't feel the need to, because I don't feel like there's a need for the internet to know that much about me now. And not because there's anything in particular that I want to keep private, like certain things, obviously. And I have some different views on things I want to keep private now than what I had when I was younger and I made YouTube videos. But it's like, I don't feel the need to like come out with things and like present myself as who I am now, because it's not like I'm planning to start or like turn the wheels again and like do YouTube. It's something I've complicated or complicated compl com com something I've what's that word? Contemplated. It's something I've contemplated quite a lot. Well, not really contemplated like realistically, but more so, you know, the what ifs thoughts that you get. And it's like I've thought about or I imagine what that could look like, but I don't really think that's for me. On one hand, which is a stupid reason, because I think a part of me thinks it's cringe. Like, a part of me is like, what right do you think you have to sit there on the internet and like speak to lots of people? And like, what will your friends now think? Like, if you just sit there and talk to a camera, like, they'll think it's weird and awkward that you post that to YouTube. Though I don't really think my friends would care. So those thoughts are kind of stupid and invalid, but I still get them. But another part of me is like, I don't know what I could get out of it. Like, there's nothing I want to get out of it. And I think that's some weird thing that I struggle with in my life, which could be an update, but it's like, it's not, it's kind of a deep update, but it's like, no, I'm gonna talk about it because I think that more people can relate to it, especially considering maybe not a majority, but like quite a good chunk of the people who watched me were like my age, so we kind of went through the same things together, is reaching adulthood. Like, I turned 21 this year, and I don't really feel like I have direction. Like, I guess I technically do, because I do study, so I guess by studying in itself and like not dropping out, which, you know, it's not like I have a plan of dropping out or anything like that. I don't want to do that. I want to finish my studies. Like, that means that you are getting from point A to point B in a way. But like, as for a direction, like a wish or like a want, I feel like I have sat back so much of my life rather comfortably and just like waited for something to happen and like something to come into my life. Obviously not when it comes to everything. Like, my transition, for example, is something that, you know, I had a direction and I fought for it. And even on YouTube for a while, it wasn't like it wasn't a goal such as like growing my platform, but it was like I had an inner drive to reach people and like do something good, because when I was younger, I didn't really feel like I did much of importance. So like, having this was very valuable to me, because I got feedback that I was actually doing something important. And I feel like I just got to a point where like I burnt out, and I don't know if that's like reaching adulthood or something like that, but I completely burnt out and I stopped caring. And it wasn't even because of depression and stuff like that, because when my depression was at its worst, that's actually when I had some drive to like do something to get me out of that. But it's like, I started my meds, and I don't think it's because of my meds either, but it's like I started my meds and like things kind of became okay, and I just lost any sort of drive, and I just sat back and I was like, okay, well, whatever's meant to happen in my life is going to happen. And to some degree, I guess it did. And like, it was somewhat rooted in spirituality, and I still think of it that way, like, what is meant to happen will happen, and like, I accept that or whatever. But like, it got to a point where I don't feel like I participate in my own life. And I know that from the outside it may look like it, because it's like, yeah, I go to I study in another country. I'm at home right now in Norway, but I go to Wales for university, and I made that happen. But that's like something I knew I wanted for a long time. And these are broader themes in my life. But like, in my day-to-day life, I don't really take initiative to hang out with that many people. Like, I don't really do stuff. I'm just tired all the time and just want to sleep. Like, I have ideas like, oh, I want to make someone like a necklace out of a badger bone for a Christmas present. And I sit there and I have that in my mind, but I never get up and do it because I'm just tired. Like, I'm so tired. You can ask like my boyfriend and he'll tell you that I just constantly want to go to sleep. And it's really kind of exhausting, because I don't know if I'm just lazy and like I have to actually get up to not be tired anymore, or if it's like actually something I can blame for not doing anything. But it's weird, because I don't feel like I'm participating. Like, I'm just kind of sat here. And it's not even from, like, a societal pressure. Because I used to feel that way. I used to compare myself to people my age who, like, had won some sort of big scholarship or, like, song competition on TV or anything like that, like became famous in some way or like did something great. Like, I used to compare myself and think like, oh, we're the same age and they've done so much more than me. But now I don't care, or like at least I don't think I care. So it's not that I feel a pressure because I'm like, I need to do something because people my age are doing stuff. It's like, I've accepted I'm not gonna do anything anyway, so like I don't care. And that's weird. So I guess that ties back to YouTube in the way where after a while, I somehow felt that I didn't have anything interesting to say anymore. I just kind of didn't care. I didn't think that people cared. And even if people cared, I'd be like, well, especially now where people say they miss my videos and stuff, I'm like, well, they miss someone that I'm not. Because I'm really not that person anymore. Like, since I made videos on the internet, I've changed so much, but not in a bad way, but just like in growing up. And I was actually having this kind of crisis, which is the whole reason why I brought it up with my therapist, but it was giving me this weird identity crisis where I felt that, you know, the majority of people who know my past self is much larger than the majority of people who know, or the amount of people that know me now. It's like, that version of me exists in so many more people's minds than me now. And it gave me some sort of identity crisis in the sense that it made me feel that that person was more valid. I don't like the word valid, but like that was a more prominent Kovu than the real Kovu, which exists now. But even then, that version of me didn't really exist because those people can't really see. They didn't understand or experience the nuances per se in who I were. And even me remembering back, I don't have all my memories. And even the memories I have are not necessarily accurate of me then. And like, I don't know the real that person. But a lot of people feel like they do, and even I feel like I do. And it's weird that that's like, it feels like a chunk of my life or a part of my life that, because of the sheer amount of people that knows it, makes it stand out more, or like makes it, yeah, more prominent. And I really don't want the idea of numbers to influence how I see myself at all. Because that's something I'm actually really passionate about. So why do I care that that version of me has more people that know that it exists? I don't know. It just made me feel weird. I think that I was also like disassociating at this point and like generally having some weird meta like experience of existence, which I get sometimes. So it just felt weird. But I don't know. I don't really have a point to this video. I wanted to kind of have a minute of talking about it, inspired by Drew Monson, and like relating to it being weird having the perspective of someone who kind of used to make content, and everyone who follows you used to watch that content more closely, or like you made more content then, so they were able to watch him more closely, versus now they don't really know your life and you don't really care. Like, you don't really feel the need for anyone to know your life because you are very comfortable just living as you. But there is still that dynamic. Like, it's still a thing. It's still something you've experienced. Like, even if I cut out all social media right now, that's still an experience that I would carry with me, you know, no matter what. So I'm trying to get into the mindset where like every experience is a beautiful experience, and like every emotion is a beautiful emotion. But because I've been really slacking in like self-love and stuff, recently. I was doing quite well in the summer. Like I was pretty confident in the summer. I was wearing kind of like short shorts. Like I was experimenting with style, being kind of like a femboy, like kind of as a joke, but like also because I thought I actually like I looked good. And then I got into a relationship, and then I moved back to Wales, and so much of my time went to kind of sustaining this relationship while I was in a different country. And obviously I was freshly in love, so I just thought about him all the time. And then I came back for Christmas, and I kind of wasn't able to see him all the time. And then we went into quarantine, so then I was forced to see him all the time because he was quarantining with my family. And then I kind of realized, which I already knew before, but like in quarantine, everything stood so still, and it gave me a lot of time to realize, or like I'd already realized I had a lot of insecurities in the relationship that I didn't think that I had previous to entering the relationship. Just kind of epiphanies all the time of like, shit, I didn't know that I was insecure about this thing until someone else kind of was involved, and I felt insecure about this in relation to them. But it really sunk in quarantine, that I have to work on myself. And this is where like being a participant in its own life comes in, because a part of me feels like I can't, because I'm so used to kind of sitting back and waiting for life to happen to me, that like when I see, look, I really need to actually work on this, a voice in my head just says, I can't. Like, I can't decide that. Like, life just happens and it does its own thing. I can't take control. Like, I don't know how to do that, and I don't feel like I'm in a position to do that, and I don't trust in myself or believe in myself or believe that I have the power to do that because I'm lazy. Like, it's not, I probably have some sort of reason for it, like, oh, I feel like I can't do it because I'm insecure, but then a part of me just tells me that I'm lazy. Like, you can't do that, you're too lazy, like you've just given up. And it's not nice. I actually, funny enough, I'm gonna say this last thing and then I'm gonna go, because this was too long. I wanted to make it kind of short for a YouTube video rather than a podcast. So this is the last thing that I'm gonna go. I did a tarot reading yesterday, and it's fine if you don't care about tarot, by the way, when watching this, but I did it just for fun. That's another wagon that I've fallen off recently. Wagon, I don't know if you like saying that, but like, I went through this whole massive like spiritual thing last year that I can talk about in a video if you want, but and I haven't done it a lot recently, and I kind of have fallen away from that a little bit. But anyway, I did a tarot reading, and I was like, okay, look, please just give me like a major arcana card, which is for like big life events, like not really day-to-day things, that tells me where in my life I'm at right now. And I got the Magician, and the Magician is all about like kind of getting things to happen and like taking control, and you have all of the resources that you need, because basically the Magician in the photo has all of like the tools for the minor arcana, which is like the 4 different, it has like, okay, I'm not going to explain it too much, but basically it has all the tools to make things happen. And I was sat when I was looking at it like, is it a joke? This is literally so far from what I'm doing right now, because I'm just sat here, like I'm not doing anything, and this is telling me like, doing stuff. You are doing stuff. But then I thought about it again, and I was like, maybe it tells me that I have the potential to do stuff, that I have all the tools necessary. I just need to do it. And then I got 3 other cards for context, which was the Knight of Swords, the Hierophant, and I think it was it was the Chariot. So it's all about like stuff happening, but the Hierophant like being there to kind of not calm things down in the sense of like, it's not happening out of order. Like, you still have kind of that perspective and the mindfulness about it, but like the stuff happening, which again is literally not what I'm doing. Like, that is literally my problem. I want to make meaningful decisions and take control and have the resources to actually like steer my life and mold my life while being smart about it, but also like firm about it. But I'm not. Like, I'm sat back and I feel like I'm lazy. So yeah, I don't know what to take from that. Maybe it's telling me like do it, but I don't know how to do it. Maybe it's telling me like you do have the resources, man, like you're fine. But I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So that's me. My dog is dreaming now and like kind of kicking the bedding away. I'm gonna go now, but I think I'm actually gonna upload this video, and for that I am really proud of myself. I'm gonna try not to care about how I look too much, because that's another thing I've been feeling insecure about. Just because I don't know what to do with my hair as it's growing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm pumped. I'm hyped to upload this. Please tell me in the comments anything you take from this video, or if you just want to say hi or anything. It makes me really happy to read comments. Really weird to like communicate with people on the internet again, but it does make me feel safer. So yeah, I hope you're all well. Stay safe. Take care. And I will see you at some point. I'm on Instagram, by the way, at CovidKingsRud, because CovidKingsRod was already taken. I think it's some like fan account that was made in 2016 or something. But CovidKingsRud at Instagram. Okay, farewell. Bye.